One of the biggest racing events in America took place at Daytona International Speedway recently and attracted the best amateur racers from across the country. The event, the SCCA Runoffs, is the highlight of grassroots racing in the USA.
We are the Sportscar Club of America. We put on 2,000 race events across the United States. Why do we do it? Oh my goodness, because we love it. It's our passion. We are more than 67,000 members strong, and our members are the ones that make racing happen. It's a part of our DNA.
The Runoffs are the national finals. After thousands of events across 115 regions, all building up points, the best drivers across 28 categories are invited. That this year's 52nd edition is at Daytona is the icing on the cake.
The biggest sports car race that this country has happens at this racetrack, the Rolex 24. The biggest stock car race that happens here, the Daytona 500. So to have the biggest amateur race of this year at Daytona International Speedway is just a dream come true for a lot of people.
Daytona is always everybody's dream. You know, it's always been my dream. I thought I'd be running the Daytona 500 one day, so it's cool to be here running the SCCA Runoffs and running the road course. So we're having a whole lot of fun. Drafting is a really big deal. It's going to be a chess match, and it's all going to come down to a little bit of luck.
We're here racing the road course, so we'll do it's about 6 turns plus a bus stop. When you come out of turn 6, you're right in the middle of turns 1 and 2 NASCAR. You're down to the bus stop, then you run 3 and 4 through the tri-oval. So you're actually, from the bus stop to turn 1, it's over a mile of straight full throttle. It's going to be a lot of drafting going on. You need to have a partner, you got to have a buddy. If not, you better find one.
For each of the 28 classes, there are 4 qualifying runs followed by a single winner-takes-all race for the national title. Stars like Michael Andretti, Dan Gurney and Scott Pruitt have raced in the runoffs. But for most of the 600 competitors, there's no pro setup or ambition, just a love of racing.
Here, the people are really scrambling, they're passionate about it, their family's passionate about it. They're competitive, but that's not what it's really about. It's the passion of getting out there and working on their cars and trying to make them go faster. And it's a lot of fun, and it's just a passion that you can't get rid of once you have it.
We have people that want to use this to move up. We also have people that use this as their goal and as their destination and don't want to go any further. An amateur racer by definition is someone that has a day job and likes to come out and do this on the weekend. But it's a competitive enough arena that if you're a young driver and you want to prove yourself against the best at a certain level, this is a great place to do it.
One young gun who proved his talent early on in the event was Joseph Burton Harris, an Aussie running in the Formula Mazda category who did his IndyCar ambitions no harm with a convincing victory. While at the other end of the spectrum, veteran racer John Heinrici was entered in numerous classes, but it was in the B-Spec, one of the slowest categories, that he took his 13th national title.
It was a tough race from start to finish. All the drafting, I mean, concentration, you'd think on slow cars like that, you wouldn't have to concentrate so hard. Man, you literally were concentrated all the time, and when you're behind the cars, right on their butt like that, you can't see the turns. It's one of the toughest races I've run in a long time.
The highlight of Friday's action was the Mazda Spec Miata final, which would produce a first for the SCCA, a night race.
Oh, you know, it's going to be huge. It's going to be wild. There's 62 cars starting the race. There's guys in the top 15 have all won national races, regional races, championships. I think the top 15, anybody in that circle has a shot at winning this.
After a rain shower, competitors had a tough decision to make on tyres for the Runoffs' first ever night race. Andrew Carbonell was one who fell down the order after gambling on slicks, but as the track dried, he moved back up the field to finish second behind Spec Miata winner Jonathan Goring.
This was probably the coolest race of my life. The conditions were very bad. I didn't know where I was the entire race. On the cool-off lap, they had told me that I won, and I had a bad radio transmission too, so I wasn't even sure if that was the case, but when I pulled in the victory lane, it became quite obvious.
I couldn't get the leader, but gotta be happy with that. I fell as far back as 7th as one point, and you just gotta keep your head in the game. You can't give up at that point. You gotta, you know, fight to the end, and look what happens at the end. We end up on the podium.
Saturday morning, and after a dramatic week's racing, the Sportscar Club of America were looking forward to the final weekend's competition in their 2015 runoffs. Vice President Eric Prill in the number 7 Mazda had a successful run in the F production class, making the podium behind winner Kevin Ruck. Meanwhile, in the Formula V class, Laura Hayes, the youngest BMW instructor in the US, was also hoping for a national title.
Formula V is a class that's been around for many, many decades. So it's one of the original classes of the SCCA. And the car, it's an old school technology. We run an air-cooled Volkswagen engine. So they put out about between 60 and 65 horsepower. We run drum brakes, and the transmissions from the Volkswagen Beetles from way back in the day, which keeps the cost of the class down and keeps the cars all pretty much identical. So it really comes down to the driver, which I really like about this class.
SCCA President Lisa Noble was also in the Formula V field driving her number 7 car. Lapping around the Daytona International Speedway isn't easy. Everyone looking for drafting partners which can potentially yield an extra 10 miles per hour. In the end, neither Laura nor Lisa managed to make the podium. The race was won by Wisconsin racer Michael Varisins, but the SCCA president had certainly enjoyed the race.
That was an intense race. My pack, which I'm told was the second biggest pack out there, was anywhere from 6 to 12 cars deep. We made some drafting passes, 5 and 6 car drafting passes that were pretty intense. Absolutely clean in my pack. My guys were wonderful to race with. My guys and gal, I was out with Laura Hayes, a young phenomenon as well, but it was a lot of fun, man.
On the final day, there was still a lot of racing left to run, but one of the most competitive classes was Formula F. Max Malinen was hoping to enhance his reputation as one to watch, as he sets his sights on a pro career in single-seaters.
Next year I plan to race in USF 2000, which is in the IndyCar ladder, so that's really good, getting into pro racing. And once I'm up there a little bit, getting into some European racing, and then, I mean, the ultimate goal is Formula One. I mean, that's the dream, for sure.
Also competing was engineer Jason Generotti, who didn't have quite the same reasons for racing.
You know, being an 18-year-old kid, you think you're going to go pro like Max. I think Max is around that age, and you think you're going to get to go somewhere, but now it's turned into a father-son thing, to where it's a way that my dad and my family and all of my friends that actually get to come watch and witness this, and that's what makes it fun.
He'd come to the Runoffs in the Swift DB1 Ford that his dad had kept from his own successful racing days 30 years earlier.
I told my wife, maybe some days Jason will want to drive it, and she smiled and said, I'm sure. And when he graduated from high school, he said, can I have a shot in the car? And I said, I'll give you a shot in the car, no problem. And I wish it turned out that he was terrible, but he was pretty good. And so we've been racing as a father and son. I work on it in the little garage at home. We usually meet on the road. He comes down sometimes and works on it. And we have a very sympathetic wife and mother. I can tell you that.
The competition was fierce as the race got underway at the famous circuit, with cars lapping in excess of 100 miles per hour. But it all went wrong for Max Malinen when he tangled with Jeremy Grenier, sending both of them into the wall. The race was won by Rick Payne, but joining him on the podium with a third-place finish was Jason Generotti. A dream come true for both him and his dad.
Man, we were so close. It's about the draft. You got to get out of the turn 6 good, fast, and then you just got to be with her. You got to be patient. It was awesome, though. That's what racing is about right there. That's awesome.
28 champions were crowned at the 2015 event, but the key to the SCCA is the participation. 67,000 members and counting means that motorsport is alive and well in the USA.
It has never been this well received. I've had people come up to me and just lit up of excitement about being here at Daytona International Speedway.
Click here to subscribe to Mobil One The Grid YouTube channel for more great exclusive motorsport videos. Thanks for watching.